Hello everyone, hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have a special guest, International Master Eric Rosen. Hello Eric.
Hey Lele, how's it going?
I'm doing fine. So we have handed brain games versus viewers. Let's play with him.
Okay, playing the knee turtle. So we're playing black again. Let's do pawn. I forget your black repertoire.
Yes, I play
Guess I'll
Sicilian
find
with
out.
book. Yes, yes.
Okay, pawn. Pawn. Knight.
What do you play after e4?
What do I play?
Yes.
I play something, it's called the Stafford Gambit.
Here,
Let's do
here.
pawn.
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
Yes, but I don't know which one is it.
Oh, maybe we'll try and get like one game with it.
Yes.
Um,
Pawn?
Perhaps when I'm hand. Let's do pawn.
Uh, um, okay. I'm not sure. I don't play with pawn, I just play with...
Oh, you play with knight.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I guess you have to play a Nardorf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there were a few choices. I guess A6, E6, or G6.
What do you play, like G6 or E6 here?
So if I play Sicilian, I usually like to play Taimanov, which is E6 on move 2. My choice, if I had this position after knight C3, is to play G6 and go for a dragon. It's an opening I
I don't
sometimes
play
teach
dragon
students.
and
Let's do knight.
just play classical knight
Okay, so
C6.
classical with A6.
And
That looks playable.
I mean, I don't play Nightdorf in general, I just play knight C6 and
Gotcha.
classical, yes.
Actually, let's do pawn.
Well, I hope this move.
Yeah, there are a few options there. That's the thing about Sicilian. It's very flexible in terms of the setup that you want to go for. Like there's still G6 as an option. We could have played what's called a Dragdorf, where you combine A6 and G6.
Yes.
Combination of dragon and Najdorf. Actually, I like the looks of this. Do bishop. And I guess given that you play a classical Sicilian, you're probably familiar with these structures.
Kind of. Yes, like... but...
Go with rook.
Rook, okay.
It's a very dynamic structure. Like there's like white has kind of the fight for the d5 square. We have this backwards d6 pawn.
Yes, but
At the same time, there's more activity for black.
as I know here is black's plan to play somehow d5, but it's not working yet.
Yeah, now it's especially not working. I know these positions sometimes come down to very specific lines, but just go with bishop. And usually when white castles queenside, it's indicating it's going to be a very sharp game.
Yes, like...
Do king. Let's do pawn. I wouldn't be surprised if we transpose into some sort of theory. This is just such a typical structure for Sicilian. Do knight.
I remember some kind of position like I played, but...
Do... Go with knight again.
I was thinking knight c5, but I think
I was
knight
actually thinking
b6.
knight a5,
Knight a5.
but there were a couple.
Mhm.
This is very similar. The whole idea is to
Mhm.
improve the position, get some initiative.
Mhm.
And knight c5 is also interesting. Go with knight again. It's so typical for like a lot of Sicilian positions when you're black to just control the c4 square. Just such a key square. Let's do pawn.
Mhm. I think now, I mean, I don't, we don't have any big problems here.
I mean, we're getting pretty much everything we
Mm-hmm.
want.
Because b5
Got
is opened
initiative.
now and we want to attack king. And
Do rook.
okay.
And these sort of opposite side casting positions especially, it's so nice when a file opens up on the side where your opponent's king is. And for white, there's no open files for the rooks to attack with. Question how to continue. Do queen.
I mean, I don't see that how white can continue attacking, like, because we are pressuring his king, I think.
Right. So this move from white is actually, yeah, it's one of the probably wiser choices to try and neutralize. There's a couple choices. I'm so tempted to say rook.
I understand, but it needs to calculate.
Oh. Okay, let's do queen.
Queen? Okay. Let's play. Hope I won't blunder anything. Okay, let's play this move. I didn't want to trade these queens.
I think it's a good choice to, yeah, keep queens on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more potential for us to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking queen a3, but I like your move better. Queen a3 would run into queen c3, I
Yes, queen a3 I didn't like because there's queen c3 and...
think.
But then here could be something like rook b2, I don't know.
Okay, that's a very good sign. Again, I think white should have still played queen c3. But it's tricky. Go for... There's so many things I want to do. Let's go for... So indecisive. Okay, let's do bishop. Now queen.
Okay, queen. All right. Okay, let's go here.
Now knight.
I think white's main problem is that they did not manage to attack on our king and make such.
Yeah,
plans.
white got the nice looking pawns, but never really continued with the storm. Okay, let's do pawn. That's sometimes what happens in these positions is that the focus will shift to the king side or the queen side. A4, very bold move.
Mm-hmm.
Do queen. Rook. Oh, I just spotted a cool idea.
Instead of rook d8?
Um, we'll see eventually. Ah, black stopped. I want to play pawn c3. We'll do knight.
Okay. But still, like, we got so good position. Like,
Yeah, this c3, this d3 square is actually really,
yes.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
What was already under a lot of pressure. Pawn. Pawn.
Let's take.
Pawn.
Pawn. Should we take? Okay, let's take.
Queen. Well, this could be tricky. Let's do rook. 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 Time is very relevant. Pawn. Rook. King.
Well, king.
Bishop.
Yes, I think we should have
Yeah,
played
should have
first.
played bishop first.
Yes,
Yeah,
bishop
would
before.
have won
Yes,
pawn.
yes.
King.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop. Rook. Rook. Pawn. Pre-move king.
Mm-hmm.
King. Rook. 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 Very tricky position
Yes.
still. Rook. King. Rook. Just play because you're low on time. But I'll still say moves. Oh, or not.
Oh my gosh, this game was, I don't know.
I don't know what to make of this really complicated final position.
Yes, like last game.
I think we're doing well because we're winning the c4 pawn. But it sometimes comes down to one tempo.
I'm interested, like,
What a game.
what was here at the end? Like, could we protect this position? I think yes, because king c4 is hanging, then rook b3, and...
So I'm going to bring it to...
and analysis.
Oh, I have to invite you again. Find you?
Okay.
So you're a classical Sicilian player.
Yes.
Do you usually start with d6 or do you start with knight c6?
Um, D6. Yes.
D6, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that's one of the benefits when you play classical. You can choose the move order,
Yes.
whether you want to deal with bishop e5 check or Rossolimo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so a6, it's a related opening, but not quite the same. But okay, we got an interesting structure, and then I like the middle game, like very typical Sicilian middle game.
Mm-hmm.
Got the file. Knight d5 was a good move from white, and
Knight
yeah,
D4. Yes.
there were some people in my chat saying queen a3, like very persistently.
But after
But
Queen C3, I didn't like it because like.
yeah, queen c3 is kind of diffusing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? I like queen b5,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, kept the pressure. This is an interesting idea to secure the b5 square,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem with a4 is it can be weakening sometimes. Now, when I said rook here, I was kind of wanting rook takes b5.
Rook
I'm not sure if
B5, I
this is
was thinking
objectively good.
this, but is it winning or after C3? Of course, like we have pressure, but still, I was not sure. Like we had low time also.
Right.
Yes.
It's like it's compensation.
Mm-hmm.
I think white has to play c3, otherwise we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go in for the kill.
Mm-hmm.
So c3, we get the d3 square, but maybe it's nothing special because white could probably end up sacking back and keep things defended.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still interesting because we're building up pressure.
Rook B8, A4, yes.
It'd be complicated. I mean,
C3.
rook d8
Oh,
was much
someone is
more.
asking me Rook B5 and then C3 and then Queen A4.
Mhm.
Okay, can we analyze Rook B5, C3 and Queen A4?
Oh,
Yes.
sacking more material.
Yes, and if it takes then before, I'm not sure
Interesting.
if it's like.
So I think the issue appears to be it is interesting.
Queen c4 maybe, but then I think rook
Queen
a
c4, rook
rook
here,
a8.
because we're threatening to win the rook.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But what if rook
rook
c1?
c1.
Yes. After rook c1, I don't because we don't have b3 and we don't have enough material to continue attacking. And yes.
Yeah, white is ready to play b3 himself,
Mm-hmm.
and then the king will run.
Yes.
Yeah, very risky.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Usually, when you're attacking, you sacrifice. You'll want to be like concrete about calculating. So yeah, this was very controlled. d5 was nice, white stack material,
Mm-hmm.
and
And then I mean,
it's still tricky.
tricky. Like I think we missed something to win much easier. Like I was. Yes. Let's continue now. And.
So in this position, it was. I was kind of scared about this idea of knight d4, but I'm realizing maybe it wasn't a threat because we can take.
Yes, 94. Yes, I was thinking he would have 94, but we can take with pawn.
But then
Yes.
there's also an idea of bishop e6. So like we have to be careful about these random
Yes.
ideas.
Yes.
So I think the biggest moment was
Bishop.
yeah, the fact that I missed bishop b4
Yes, I was
like
thinking.
perfect timing
Yes,
too.
you would say bishop before and then.
Because the problem for white, the king
Yes,
is the
yes.
only thing defending c4. King c2, we win a pawn.
King
King
b3.
b3, rook d3.
Knight c3 maybe. But
And then
here's
we're
bishop c3 maybe.
yeah, we're
And-
doubling white's pawns,
yes.
and this should be easier to win now.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't happen, and then this final position was crazy. It was hard to get the pawn rolling. I mean, I said king because if we push the pawn, the bishop's always kind of watching e3.
Yes, but maybe I should not play rook d3 and maybe rook k8. But maybe instead of king e4, e4 would be much better. Now e4, and if bishop b6, here are some moves like rook, I don't know, maybe rook
rook
a8
d3,
or rook
or
d.
just hunker down.
Yes, and if king d4, king e4, f4 now, and then king f3, and yes, because when we gave a5 pawn,
It turns into a race.
this is complicated to be honest.
And then even like towards the end, like here, like white's very close to just queening. Had to bring the rook back. And then white just ran out of time. Real quick, I'm going to check the engine.
Yes, yes, I'm interested, like what it shows.
Engine says we're clearly better, but not fully winning.
Winning,
But at this point, yeah, we're guaranteed to win the pawn.
Yes, like
Man, these games are tough.
he played so well.
So, shall we?
Pawn?
Okay. Oh, you played your d4 player.
Yes.
Let's mix it up. Let's play e4.
Oh, okay, knight. I mean, I was thinking you would play d4, so I got...
Well, I don't really have a set repertoire that I stick with. I like to play London. I have a whole like e4 repertoire too.
It's nice to play many openings like.
It is.
Okay, knight. Used how to play after e4 with handed rain. I mean, pawn. So, but you pawn. But I see that you usually play London, and for example, like how many times you play for or d4 or like different openings, or you are only stick to London?
It depends on the situation. If I'm playing, it really depends. If I'm playing lower rated players, I usually play e4. If I'm playing a stronger player who I don't know what they play, I'll play London.
Bishop. Yes, I understand. And what do you think? Like, what type of opponents you play mostly? London, and what type of opponents you play for? Like, it depends on preparation.
So if I know who I'm playing beforehand, like if I'm playing a tournament game, I'll almost always check my opponents. I'll be able to find my opponent's games one way or another, see what openings they play, and then prepare for them specifically. I haven't played a serious tournament in a while.
King.
But I like to be flexible with my repertoire.
I understand.
And I've done a lot of teaching over the years, so I have students that have played all different types of openings. So I've had the opportunity to learn different openings I wouldn't otherwise know.
And pawn. And I'm interested which variation it became.
So we're playing what resembles a closed Sicilian. I played something similar in tournament games before. It's a nice kind of slower opening. It can result in like very closed positions, especially if black goes for d4. But it's a safe line.
Well, I was thinking one variation, but you did not play, and I'm interested if it. I
Can
mean,
always discuss afterwards.
yes, pawn. Oh.
There are a lot of pawn moves there. But
Yes.
it's my go-to choice.
Knight. And why you decided to start like you love the most London, as I see, and why you why this opening is very favorite for you?
So I started playing it back around 2014 or 2015.
Knight. Yes.
And choices. Let's play
Yes.
this move. And when I started learning it, I discovered a lot of lines beyond the basic, like generic London setup that were very venomous against strong, like even high-level players. And there were a lot of high-level opening traps that strong players didn't know about. and over past few years, like the lines have become more well known, but it's still it's a dangerous opening if the opponent's not prepared.
Yes, knight. Yes, like when I was with black and my opponents used to play London, I was thinking that it was easier to play with black, but
Mm.
then I realized that if you don't know variations or some plans, it's quite hard. Yes.
Are you comfortable nowadays playing against it, or are you still have some issues?
I think I have still some issues. Like,
Mm.
yes, I think.
Maybe we can check out what you play, and maybe I can give you some recommendations. I know
Okay.
there's a lot of players out there who struggle with it.
Yes, yes, this sounds great. Thank you. No, okay, so, well, well, I feel. Night. Oh, you were thinking that.
I wasn't sure. There was knight f5 as well. Maybe knight f5 was better. Just wanted to open up our bishop.
Knight. Okay, how many moves we have done already with knight?
It's typical. It's very typical for closed positions where the knights just like continually maneuver. Um, Way more common in closed positions to move the knights than the bishops. I'm just realizing there's no increment in this game.
No? Oh my goodness, pawn.
No, but that's okay. I mean,
Okay.
it's still plenty of time.
I mean, I don't understand, like. Anyways.
I mean, 1 minute, theoretically, in
Knight,
one
knight.
minute,
Knight,
that's
knight. I
we can make
know.
a maximum of 600 moves if every move is
600?
a pre-move.
Oh my goodness, like when I do promos, sometimes they are bad, so I mean. But you.
Yeah, probably not realistic to pre-move every move,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still enough time.
Yes, I'm bullet player as well. Like I'm playing too many bullet games, and I know
Mm.
what 1 minute means.
Yeah, bullet is a lot different than the
Knight.
traditional chess that we're used to.
Yes.
Um,
Knight.
Not
Did I
too
say
much time to think. Okay, I'm
too much
gonna
time?
go in and have
Just
some fun
50
here.
seconds left.
Oh, knights are surprisingly dangerous here.
Pawn. Let's give him this knight.
Okay.
Oh, are these?
Oh no, our knight. A knight's not defended.
Yes, yes, we blundered knight. Yes. Oh, okay. Knight.
There we go.
Well, I
There's
remember
so much
once.
fork potential.
Once we had the stream together, like we tried to do similar thing, like to trick our
Mm.
opponent, but they are smart.
Yeah, you really need to be spot on with the acting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is working well. Okay.
Knight. How many moves we have done? I mean, pawn. When you have low time, you can play like after
Yeah,
pawn.
below 10
Yes,
seconds.
yes.
It's still tricky. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen this in a few games where we win material and then things get a little bit messy.
Messy, yes.
That's part of life.
Knight. Queen. Bishop.
So our king has no pawn shelter, but it has shelter of the bishops.
Bishop. Rook. Okay, I think you can do it by yourself.
Okay. Time to feast on some pawns.
Time control is to... I forgot. 5 minutes, yes, it was 5 minutes. You said
Okay.
right that 1 minute
Let's
is
go.
peak time.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice attacking kind of position. It's very typical for this opening to start off slow and then like gradually build up this very menacing kingside attack.
Yes. Yes, and I have a question.